If your conduct is deemed seriously prejudicial to the United Kingdom's interests, the government now has new powers to take away your British passport. And you don't have to be convicted of a crime, just suspected of one.
We are seeking this power to fill a gap in our law.
Previously, the government had been able to rescind a person's British citizenship only if they had dual nationality. The Home Secretary argued, though, that wasn't enough. But after fiery debates in both houses of Parliament, the government was forced to table a watered-down version of the bill. Now, Home Secretary Theresa May will have to have reasonable grounds to believe that those affected are able to get citizenship somewhere else, meaning she claims they'll never be made stateless.
It must be remembered it's a privilege to be in the UK, not a right. It's a citizenship that's been given to them. And if they flaunted that right with involvement in terrorism-related activity, then of course there's going to be consequences.
Critics are calling for a more stringent legal process before someone's citizenship is stripped away.
It involves, the US Supreme Court said that it was worse than torture. And what it basically means is that someone is at the whim of the state that they happen to end up in. And hopefully that state treats you well, but they're under no obligation to do so because you have no state to protect you.
Since 2006, 27 people have had their British citizenship revoked on grounds of national security. One of those was 24-year-old Mahdi Hashi. His was taken away from him when he was in Somalia, before he was rendered to the US on terrorism charges. Hashi's still awaiting trial, and his lawyer says he's been left stateless and languishing in an American jail.
Now the government can shortly beforehand this person's going to be arrested or killed by somebody else, take away their citizenship and say, well, we've got nothing to do with this.
Opponents accuse the government of hijacking the current spotlight on immigration and the growth of right-wing groups here in the UK to clamp down on foreigners. They say the bill is worded vaguely and that it could eventually be used against those who commit or are suspected of other lesser crimes. But the government says the new law will be reviewed in a year and then 3 yearly after that to ensure it's working properly. Alexi, Al Jazeera, London.